The ratings are in for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. Vince McMahon reportedly is banned from entering WWE HQ. Penta AEW, his contract with All Elite Wrestling is reportedly set to expire soon, with reported interest from WWE. Speaking of contracts, Dijak, his contract is set to expire soon, and we got more details on preliminary negotiations beginning between the two parties. Eric Bischoff responds to Bret Hart's comments in the Vice TV WCW documentary, and Roman Reigns has possibly been pulled from the final SmackDown before SummerSlam. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the ratings for this past week's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. Now, All Elite Wrestling, of course, is firmly on the road to the third annual Forbidden Door pay-per-view on June 30, with the June 5 edition of AEW Dynamite being the latest stop, with championship matches, in-ring returns, and a pull-apart brawl scattered throughout the show. The question is, how many people tuned into TBS to witness the action play out live? Well, according to WrestleNomics, the June 5th edition of AEW Dynamite averaged a total of 790,000 viewers, a marginal increase from the 787,000 viewers the May 29 edition of the show averaged the previous week. Not only has the average viewership for AEW Dynamite now increased 3 weeks in a row, but the June 5th average is the highest since April 10, just before the start of the NBA and NHL playoffs. Neither league broadcast a game on Wednesday. Now, the show's performance in the 18 to 49 demographic, a 0.28, is up 12% from last week's 0.25 rating. It was also its highest since April 10 in the absence of any major sports competition. With the professional basketball and hockey postseasons both winding down, next week will be the last Wednesday that Dynamite ratings will be affected by playoff sports, as the Dallas Mavericks will host the Boston Celtics in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Now, when it comes to the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics, so shout out to them and be sure to subscribe to their Patreon. We can get that up on the screen for you right there. A total of 976,000 viewers tuned in for the start of the show to witness Maxwell Jacob Friedman's first AEW Dynamite appearance of 2024, though as always the number was heavily boosted by a strong lead-in from The Big Bang Theory. By the end of quarter two, the number had dropped to 835,000 viewers, which is still above the average that we've seen in recent weeks. It dropped to 754,000 by the end of quarter hour 3. There was a small bump at the top of the second hour to 780,000 viewers, and during the brief overrun, 792,000 viewers witnessed Swerve Strickland successfully defend the AEW World Championship against Roderick Strong. Now, the low points of the show, as you can see with this graph right there, is in the quarter hours that feature the 9:15 to 9:30, also the 9:30s to 9:45, 714,000 viewers tuning in for that 9:15 to 9:30 range. When it comes to the key demographic as well, the low points, as you would expect, once again was in that same low point of the 9:15 to 9:30, which was again that 335,000 viewers number. So what did you make of the ratings for last night's Dynamite, or this past week's Dynamite? What do you make of the ratings in general for AEW at the moment? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, Vince McMahon, a bit of an update when it comes to Vince McMahon and just how removed he is from WWE after his resignation earlier this year. Now, Vince McMahon resigned as executive chairman of TKO Group Holdings in January following a sex trafficking lawsuit filed against him in January, progressively selling the stock he held in the time since to ensure total separation from the promotion he acquired from his father decades ago. And according to former longtime employee Tom Carlucci, McMahon isn't even allowed to enter WWE headquarters as a visitor. He said, quote, "He can't even walk in the building. That's crazy that you drive by that building. You've got the big championship bout. He always wanted those from day one," Carlucci said during the Insiders with Conrad Thompson. Now, Carlucci started working with WWE in January 1988, assuming various roles for the company over the next 3 decades. Quote, "We were in 2 different buildings. He always wanted us under one roof. That was his dream, to have us all under one roof. The dream came, and he's not even a part of it anymore," Carlucci said. That ban even extends, according to Carlucci, to the gym that McMahon helped design. Quote, "He can't even go in the gym anymore. He can't step foot anywhere. Every meeting that goes on over there, everybody asks, is Vince coming? You'll never see Vince here again from the TKO people. Now, McMahon initially resigned from WWE in his retirement in 2022 after it had emerged that he'd misappropriated company funds to pay NDAs. But he returned to the board in January 2023 with the expressed intent of finding a buyer for WWE. In September, WWE was officially merged with UFC to become TKO Group Holdings in an agreement with Endeavor, with McMahon named as the executive chairman of TKO's board. McMahon ultimately resigned again in light of Janelle Grant's lawsuit, which was paused last Thursday pending further investigation from the Department of Justice. Now, recently we spoke so much about contracts in WWE and AEW, and there's more details when it comes to an AEW contract this time regarding Penta AEW. Now, yet another major wrestling name could enter free agency, with Penta AEW's AEW contract reportedly expiring towards the end of the summer. Penta joined AEW alongside his brother Ray Phoenix in 2019, and they were reported to have extended their deals with the promotion in August 2020. Lucha Libre Online has now reported that Penta's contract is due to expire in either August or September, although it's unknown whether talks have been launched, with the additional caveat that WWE is interested in signing him should he become available. Now, there is no mention of Phoenix in the report, but that could be put down to added time through injury. Penta has enjoyed success in AEW alongside his brother, both as the Lucha Brothers, winning AEW and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, and with Pac as Death Triangle to win the AEW World Trios Championships. However, unlike Phoenix, Penta has yet to win a singles title in the promotion. Now, the Lucha Brothers wouldn't be the first brother tag team in AEW to have differing contract situations and expirations in 2024, with Matt Hardy recently entering free agency in April, while his brother Jeff remains signed to the promotion. Penta last wrestled in a losing effort against Konosuke Takeshita on the May 31st edition of AEW Rampage for a spot in the TNT Championship ladder match at Forbidden Door. He had teamed with Phoenix and Pac for an attempt at the unified AEW Trios titles held by Bullet Club Gold at Double or Nothing, but failed to dethrone the Bang Bang Gang. He will face the Butcher on June 7 edition of AEW Rampage. That, of course, is tonight on TNT. Now, when it comes to more contracts, we've got stuff from WWE. Dijak, a bit of an update when it comes to Dijak's WWE contract situation. This comes courtesy of Fightful Select. Of course, Dijak's contract has entered the last month of time remaining on his deal, and now there's a bit more known about the negotiations between the Raw superstar and WWE. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan has learned, in speaking with sources close to the situation, that Dijak is being repped by Paragon Talent Group, co-founded by Dean Mojo Matadi and Stephen Kay, in negotiations with WWE. Brennan has also learned that positive preliminary negotiations have begun between the two parties, but there is yet to be an offer on the table. Now, if Dijak were not to re-sign with WWE, Fightful have also been told that there is extensive interest for the Monday Night Raw talent outside of WWE, both in and outside of the wrestling world. Now, creatively, Fightful say they haven't heard of any immediate plans for Dijak on Raw, and he was not brought to the June 3rd edition of the show. In recent weeks, Dijak has been brought to shows, but has only one sole appearance on Main Event versus Pete Dunne since the WWE draft. In speaking with talent who have worked with Dijak in recent years, Brennan was told that Dijak was always open to advice to the younger faces in NXT throughout both runs in the brand, and has been nothing but professional in his dealings with WWE. Those that Brennan spoke to within WWE noted that his continued presence on social media has not gone unnoticed by WWE, and the belief with those that Fightful spoke to is that WWE will look to retain him. Now, as of this recording, Dijak's current WWE contract is set to expire at the end of June. Of course, we get any more details on negotiations or plans for the future, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, who killed WCW? That's the documentary that begun this week on Vice TV, and there's been a lot of comments and a lot of reaction to the first episode. As I mentioned, the first episode of Who Killed WCW is in the books, and Bret Hart has got people talking following his comments on the show. Hart was openly critical of WCW and called Eric Bischoff Hulk Hogan's puppet, and when asked if he could sum up his time in WCW in one sentence, he responded with, "Thanks for nothing, go fuck yourselves." Now, Bischoff was also interviewed for the show and reacted to the first episode in a special edition of the 83 Weeks podcast, stating that Hart's comments were on expected lines. Quote, "Did I expect Bret Hart to be crabby and grouchy and blame the world? Sure. We hear it every time we hear Bret. He's angry at somebody. Nothing new there." The former WCW executive was also asked to go into more detail about Hart's comments, to which he explained that he actually feels bad for the Hitman. He said, quote, "I saw him in Australia a couple of weeks ago. I was there and he was there and I said hello to him, acknowledged him and met his wife, and she seems like a very nice person. But you just look at this guy from across the room and he looks miserable. I don't know, maybe deep down inside he's a very joyful person, but he looks miserable. It's the same old shit. Bret didn't have an effing clue what was going on in WCW." Bischoff acknowledged that Hart was going through a lot at the time he got to WCW, with the recent events of the Montreal Screwjob fresh in his mind, as well as the passing of his brother Owen, leading to Hart being disconnected from the business. However, Bischoff feels he can't take Hart seriously as he is bitter and doesn't take any responsibility for his actions. So what do you make of Eric Bischoff's comments there? Is he right? Is he wrong? Is Bret Hart a bitter person? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. And finally, Roman Reigns. A bit of an update on the Tribal Chief and when we're going to, or maybe not going to, see him next on WWE programming. Roman Reigns has been removed from advertisements for an upcoming WWE show he was previously being promoted for. As previously reported, Roman Reigns was listed as set to appear at the SmackDown taping on August 2nd, the last episode before SummerSlam the following night. However, the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion has now been removed from advertisements for that night's SmackDown event. The WWE events page where Reigns was listed as one of the featured superstars has had its featured superstar section removed and replaced with a message saying, quote, "Featured superstar information for this event is not yet available." Now, the banner for the August 2nd show now features Randy Orton, Bayley, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Cody Rhodes, and LA Knight, along with the date, location, time, and ticket price. Now, Cleveland plays host to the August 2nd SmackDown at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and SummerSlam on August 3rd at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Whether Roman Reigns has been entirely removed from plans to appear on the show or just removed from advertisements to keep his return a surprise remains to be seen. Of course, Reigns has not been seen on WWE television since his loss to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. In the interim, Paul Heyman is involved in an ongoing storyline with the Bloodline, now helmed by Solo Sikoa, featuring two new members, that being Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. In storyline, Sikoa claims to have been in contact with Reigns about how to run the group, while Heyman hasn't heard from Reigns since just after WrestleMania. Of course, if we get any more details on this or future plans for Roman Reigns, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. But there you go, guys. This is the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.